Alright, this was this video started as a Ken's fish unboxing. That kind of took a turn of its own, so I'm gonna make it into 2 videos, and there'll be kind of some weird cuts in this video because of that. I'm gonna film. Well, yeah, I'm probably gonna, after this intro, I'm probably gonna put the how to use an auto feeder right. I guess maybe, or no, I'll put that somewhere. But I'm gonna do this first to kind of give some context to the thing, because what this video is about is what auto feeders can feed. Like, can they feed? What can they feed consistently? Can they feed like stick-like things consistency? You know, really small foods like this. More uniform foods like this Northfin. Oh, uniform. Or does it need, or like crumbles? It was pretty darn consistent with crumbles, actually. I was extremely impressed. This is just a scale. 0. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do is, so you already got it taped up, and I'm using the same amount of, I'm keeping this the same for all the tests, right? So it's different, but I'm doing it, and you'll see. It's good. It's not the best, but it's better than anyone else's because there is none. So I'm just dumping this Northfin in. Just kind of, you know, about that much in all of them, you know, the amount so they can, you know, get around town, you know. The first round of auto feeders usually aren't very accurate because you can see this shelf thing here. Yeah. So we burn one. Man, that's a ton. 2.426 grams. This one may not be the most accurate because we run out of freaking food. .835 grams. I guess with this food we can see the end of auto feeder dump. Some people talk about that's not a thing. By the way, it's not a thing. Not with auto feeders. It's not really how they work at all, quite frankly. At least in my experience. Never had that happen. I think whenever people have that happen, they move it and forget. 1794. Fairly consistent. I think, well, heck, man, it might be about the same. I already did the math for the other ones, and generally it's about 25%. You know, wishy-washy. This one is small, and I think we're out of food. I may not count this one. If it's, let me, you know, I'll take a look and see how much food we have left in there, if there is any. I mean, there's some. So I'll count it. 979. If anything, it feeds less. The auto feeders do whenever they get low. Which I think is what we may be seeing here. How many have I done? I'm shooting for 5, but it's kind of hard to remember. I think this is 4? Maybe it's 5. Should it maybe 5? I don't know. 1057. 1057 milligrams. For those of you grammarly challenged. Yeah, I think we're pretty much empty at this point. I kind of think I pulled that one back. To be honest, I don't think I had it level, so I'm going to dump that out. Just from what it looked like in the barrel. Let's get more front there, and let's do this. Maybe it just kind of looks like that in the barrel. Whatever. $608. I think we're running low. I'm gonna go ahead and put some more in and kind of see what that does. Just out of curiosity. I'm not really sure like what to count here, you know? Because look at how little we have now. I mean, it's that. I mean, maybe that. I guess that does matter. But it doesn't seem fair to stack. Since it's feeding so much more out, obviously it's losing more, so it doesn't seem like it's fair to stack it up against, but I mean, I guess that's important too. I mean, I don't really know what to think on that. Maybe we'll just do some more, kind of help even it out. As per usual, we burn the first one. You can see it's feeding way more, right? You don't dump at the end, it freaking, gets less. It dumps at the start. That's much less of an issue I've found if you have, just a smaller hole. So maybe it's not fair to have them all feed. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should be like going for the same amount of grams. I mean, maybe that would be more fair, as opposed to the same hole size. But that would also be way more work. So yeah, I don't. 2171. 2170. $1731. I mean, maybe that's. I mean, I don't know. It's obviously going. I'm not sure. I guess I'll just. This is my last one. I guess I don't know. I guess I'll just do the math and put it up. I mean, I think that would be. But I'm not sure I have the best testing methodology. I guess is what I'm saying. Is it fair? I mean, I don't know what's fair. 1338. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a pinch. That's kind of how I'm going to do it. 106. Just kind of see how accurate like a pinch is. 59. I kind of thought I would be closer. No, I think that's too much. $78. I shouldn't say, I'm not just like grabbing a pinch. I'm trying to be consistently grab like the same pinch, you know what I mean? Is it only 47? Damn. This is harder than I thought. I'm not even sure where the average is at this point. 78? Or 88? Not 78, 88. $78? $82? Let's do one more. 68, 69. So 69. Nice. Alright, so that was the pinch. So I guess that's what you should be like basing your autofeeder accurateness scale off of, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I do feel like it would be more fair to have them all try to shoot for the same gram, but man, that would be a lot of work. I'm just not sure it's worth it. Like if it's like, if this Northfield one is like crazy off, I might kind of try to get closer, because that one was like triple basically every single other one. I bet this one will be a lot too though. This is just magic small fish feed. Magic small fish, I think. Yeah. The little stuff. I kind of don't think it'll do good, but I mean, how am I? I didn't think that crumble would do good either, and it did it just as well as everything else. So do you think this will do more, feed out more or less grams than the Northwind did? I think it'll be less. Holy hell, maybe not. That was a shit ton. Okay. I kind of thought it would kind of get clogged up, you know what I mean? Honestly, it kind of looks like a similar amount to the Northwind. Just like visually. I think this one will be much harder to get it all off. Maybe not. 2725. 2727. 2727. Okay, we have some stuck to the cup. It'll probably say 0 because it needs to be at least 20 milligrams for it to really register. So I guess we'll just move on. Maybe if it reaches a readable amount, we'll tear the scale again. I mean, I don't really know the best. I don't know what's fair, you know what I mean. 1999. Alright, let's tear the scale. One four 1444. And our scale's level and all that. Let's try knocking on this. Try it. Alright, yeah. I guess we'll try it again. I'm not. You know, obviously I can't get it all out of there. Like, it's just too small and it sticks, so I don't really know what the best course of action is there. $189. I think we're out of food. Yeah. We're pretty much out. So I don't count that one. I guess we'll call it there with that one. I probably should have done that one last. Because now it's just kind of a mess. And also it goes through the little holes in the back, so maybe a food that small, probably not the best choice for an auto feeder, but I don't know. I don't know. Try to knock it? I mean, no. Can do it. I don't know. I can't use water because then it'll freaking all the food will stick to it. I guess we'll just, that's plain enough. I guess. So we're gonna do that. Okay. And now let's try this bigger stuff here. This big Kins Ultimate Pleco shit. These guys. I really thought the Kins would be pellets. I mean, it says it's a pellet, but that's not a pellet. It's a stick. And they have an option for sticks, so why aren't these in sticks? This is a stick. Look at it. It's a fucking stick. Heat snakes. I kind of like the smell of this one. And the first one, as per usual. See, this one will only like, it'll probably only dump out like 3 pellets. So, I mean, is that even fair? I guess it dumped out quite a few. Maybe like 12, a dozen, 13, something like that. And here I am calling them pellets. $291, $299, $290, 290 milligrams. $297, 300. 300. What the heck? I must have screwed that one up. Or something. I was a little bit distracted. That only put out 3. That's not... I think that was on me, so I'm not going to count that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, should I count that? Should I not? I don't really know. So obviously it's not perfect because I can't. It's top heavy. See what I'm saying? So. I think both of those were me screwing up though. 169. I put out nothing. Maybe because here, maybe because I'm putting it down like that. Maybe I just need to keep it vertical. I think it's kind of getting stuck to the tape, and then it kind of blocks itself off. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this crap just can't go through an autofeeder. It's just too big. Maybe I need to make a bigger hole. I mean, I don't know. It was doing pretty good for the first couple of times. And that was better. Let me just keep it right like this and not set it down. Because that's how it would be on your tank, you know what I mean? $131. You know, maybe this just isn't. I think it needs a bigger hole. Really. 117? 118? Yeah, 118. Decent bit came out there. I think this stuff needs a larger hole. It's kind of blocking itself up. 142. See, and that one only put out 1. Like, I don't know. I mean, do I even count that? I don't. I may just throw this one out. Because I wasn't exactly here. I gave it multiple second chances because I thought I was screwing it up. And I didn't count whenever it just did 1 either. Right there, so. I think it needs a bigger hole to work. But at the same time, I think that dozen or so pellets is what I would want it to feed to like my bettas or something. So maybe it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't. You know, I don't know what's fair, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, what even is fair? I don't know. Alright, that concludes the testing portion of the video, I guess. Okay. Now on to the math portion. Whoop whoop. You'll just see it on the thing. You won't even have to do all the work. Well, I am curious how this guy will feed from an auto feeder, so I'm gonna do that in this video. Why not? All right. So this is a after Margot 3D printed this little hinge for. Oh dang! Got to close that. I think right in there will be good. You might have to use some tape. Probably definitely have to use some tape. But this is obviously after Margot 3D printed it. I like a hinge on my auto feeders, so it, like whenever sponge filters splash and stuff, it doesn't go in the hole and get the poodle like spoiled and crap. Found that now I buy auto feeders with hinges on them because they make those now. Fantastic. Co-op, you should switch to those. Yeah, very good. There's a lot of things I like about those auto feeders, and there's two things that could be fixed. And it would be the perfect auto feeder. Not this one, different one. But anyways, so with an auto feeder, you obviously want it to be consistent. Most of the issues people have with auto feeders is inconsistent pellets and not testing them out. That I've had one auto feeder not feeding consistently, and I've been having like at least 10 for like 5 years. So yeah, and that's after I dropped it. There was a co-op one, and I dropped it, and a little thing got bent. They sent me a new one, and I ended up taking the time to fix the one that got broken. I just had to pop it back into place. It was like it doesn't matter. But with your first feed from an auto feeder, it's worthless. Sometimes even two, because you have to get it on the little shelf thing. My hinge didn't come back. What the heck? And now let's do another. Now it's on the little shelf thing. Okay. Shake it. It's decent. So now we're going to put it flat, and we're going to put it on a piece, in this case, a paper towel here, but a piece of paper kind of works better. And you want it to feed the amount you want it to feed. And you need to do that before you put it on the tank and leave on vacation. All right. So that's the amount we got. Let's measure it on this here scale. This isn't my good scale. I might actually need my good scale for this. This might be too small of an amount to accurately measure. Precisely measure? Accurate? Either. I guess precision is more important in this case. Well, let's get all that in there. Yeah, it's not accurate. Okay, let's go to the good scale. Let's warm up the scale. All right, for anyone curious, I didn't actually take the time to warm up the scale, though I probably should have. Though I did make sure it was level, so that's all you're going to get out of me here. All right, so again, we moved it around, so let's burn the first one. Okay. Let's see. We're just looking for relatively consistent. If it's in, honestly, if it looks good, it is good. But with these being kind of oblong, it's a little bit harder to tell. So the old scale out. We also need more food than this. So, all right. 37 milligrams. Let's dump this. Okay. Hold it. And that is within the scales of like whatever. It's within the area that it can measure good. It's 37. This one seems like way less. Let's see. Pretty close, 24, 23. So 14 milligrams off. By a percentage, that's a lot, but let's try it again. By a percentage, that's a ton, actually. It's like 30%. Ooh, we got none out that time. We need to open this bigger. Try that. What we got? One little piece here. A little piece here. Try this again. It's good engaging content. Quite frankly, I'm mostly making this video for me at this point. That's too big. See, that's the issue people get into here. See, shoot. You see how much spilled out there? That's way too much. A lot of people will like freaking, set up their auto feeder, put it on the tank, like, oh yeah, that's good. Let's go on vacation. Leave it for a month and a half, feeding that amount of food, and they're like, "What will fish die?" It's not the auto feeder's fault. Or they're trying to feed like freaking flakes or something with it. Some people do that too. So let's go back to that big opening. I believe it was like the third. This one. Okay. Right, now let's get some tape. Bander's tape preferably. Alright, got the tape on. We're going to dump 2 out. It's usually what you need whenever you put on tape. You got 2. It's definitely better. Bit more than I wanted, I think, but kind of hard to tell unless you get it in the tank. $371 milligrams. Food. That might be about right, honestly. $227, 26, 226. So it's 371, 226. And I'm really not sure how consistent pellets are, but this doesn't seem crazy to me. Because honestly, big thing with auto feeders is don't have it feed, like you don't have it feed too much. You know what I mean? $437. So within, and guys, these are not a lot. This is all within a gram, right? It's within half a gram. We're talking about a tenth of a gram here. These are not, this isn't much, you know. $283. That was another light one. Let's do one more. Ooh, 186. That was light. But all within like 2/10 of a gram. I would say that's not bad. I would think. I'm alright with that. Seems good to me. I'm going to try that out on one of my wild type bettas. And also see how the other things, how consistent they are. Hell, why not right now? I might cut this part out. Might not. Alright. Let's try the 1mm, guys. These guys, are these guys the good ones? No, these guys are way too big, that's right. Might have to hand feed the pedicels. Shit. Here we go. 1mm. Betta pellet. Alright. That's for one. Dropped a pellet there, guys. Sorry about that. $7.69. Okay. You can see since these are smaller, they're dumping more out. Probably around double. $5.82. But these things are going to be quite a bit more consistent. What was the first one? $7.89, $5.82. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe they'll be about the same. Consistency. They're certainly a lot more uniform. As in just like closer to being a circle. $4.91 versus $7. These aren't any more consistent. Not really. Interesting. That kind of, I really thought they would be. That kind of makes me curious on the crumble now. Consistency differences there. And like I said, guys, these are not big amounts. They don't really matter. But just out of all these are plenty consistent for pretty much any fish, unless you're feeding way too much out of an auto feeder. You should not, in my opinion, you should not be relying on an auto feeder to feed your fish like 100% of their daily caloric needs. Maybe shrimp. Shrimp are tough. Let's try these crumble, these color bits. Let's crumble. This doesn't smell bad. Put the lid on. Let's go in here and then we'll go in the auto feeder. I also like the new ones that I buy because the barrel, the end is flat. So you can put it on flat. It's a lot. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. I bought it because of the lid, and it was the only one with the lid at the time. Well, it wasn't the only one, but that's the only style with the lid at the time. They're all, obviously the same thing. There's like 3 different ones, and they were obviously the same manufacturing. All right, let's see these guys now. Got a burn one. Okay. $165. That looks pretty darn small, I think. May not be too bad. It's hard to tell by eye, guys. That's why we got the scale. 100, that's the closest we've had so far. Granted, it's less amount, so that probably, changes stuff by a percentage. It's a lot less, actually, than the others. Come on, get off that. There we go. 211. All right, let's do one more. I think for all these we did 4, I think. And first one we probably did more. But let's say I'll take the first 4 or 3, whatever the most amount we have for all of them is, and we'll do that. Do it by percentage and by total amount as well. Just kind of curious. 160. That seems pretty good. Let me do one more. Let me do one more on this thing. Because I guess that was only 3. Was that only 3? I only remember 3. I remember like 168. One was like 100, and that one was 160. And this stuff is inconsistent. I may be wrong about auto feeder, guys. It may not. The consistency of the pellet size may not matter as much as I thought. If it's all inconsistent, 164. Shit, man, that is close. Let me do one more here. Man, I'm trying to get an outlier at this point. I guess we already had one. Trying to get an over outlier, I guess. The over. Looks like this will be an under. If I had to guess. Pretty darn under, actually. But it's not much in there by the looks of it. Shoot. Just pick up all we can, I guess. That honestly looks pretty darn good. I don't think we. It looks like we got on. I don't think we got anything we didn't want, at least on a lot. But we got some, so this isn't the most accurate. Yeah, still 85. We're so consistent. That's like half. Okay, so maybe not as. We haven't gotten over, so that's good. That's what That's what really matters, is going too much. All right, but that's the end of this video. I'll tally up the totals and I'll put it on the screen as we do them. Maybe I'll do it at the end too. I don't know. Maybe I won't do it at all. Maybe this whole part will get cut out and we'll just do the unboxing, but we'll see.